President Obama and the State Department would have us believe that Al-Qaeda has been decimated. Unfortunately, they got it wrong. Al-Qaeda forces have taken the key cities of Fallujah and Ramadi in Iraq. Over 1,500 American soldiers died in battle to take Fallujah, and now the city has been lost. The Al-Qaeda members there are calling themselves the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. And their mission is what it has always been, to establish an Islamic State under Sharia law. Now let me focus on a few elements here because we have lost an enormous amount of blood and treasure for nation building in Iraq, and we're watching it just be poured down the Islamic drain before our eyes. And of course, Secretary of State John Kerry said, we have no intentions of putting boots on the ground. This is a fight for the Iraqi people. What does that mean? Well, number one, the leadership of Iraq is now calling on the people of the province of Anbar, the people of Fallujah and Ramadi, to rise up against Al-Qaeda. Here's the problem. That province is dominated by Sunni Muslims. This leads to what may be the State Department's secret hope, namely that a civil war inside of that province will take the lives of Al-Qaeda terrorists, that they'll be killed in battle. You see, Iraq is predominantly a Shiite country. The Shiites and the Sunnis, these are both Muslim sects, have been warring with each other in bloody conflicts since one generation after the death of Muhammad in 632. So we're talking nearly 1,400 years of battle between Shiites and Sunnis. In fact, Sunnis hate Shiites so much that when they talk about us, the infidels, they say the only thing worse than one of us infidels is a Shiite Muslim. And the reason is because the Shiites believe that you have to be a blood relative of Muhammad to be the ruler of the Islamic people, and the Sunnis believe, no, you just have to be a good Muslim, a friend who follows Muhammad. And that has led to literally 1,400 years of killing between these two sects. Well, it could be that the State Department is hoping that these people will kill each other off. Here's the problem, friend. Afghanistan. We allowed Al-Qaeda, working with the Taliban, to have bases inside of Afghanistan. In those bases, they trained terrorist fighters and then sent them out around the world to kill Americans and other infidels. We cannot allow the western province of Iraq to be in the hands of Al-Qaeda. We can't. So the only question is how and when we do something to kill them. Now, it could be that our government is willing to wait for 6 or 12 months or 2 or 3 years, or Obama's ready to just wait till he's out of office and let the next president deal with it. But if Al-Qaeda holds this province and they use it as a base of terrorist operations, as Al-Qaeda did with Afghanistan, they're going to train and send terrorists to kill Americans and other infidels. It's going to happen. And at that point, the discussion will percolate among the American populace and other nations as to what are we going to do. The problem we had with both Iraq and Afghanistan is that we went in for nation building. What we should have done was attacks of vengeance. We're going in and we're killing the leaders and we're leaving. We have the bombs. We have smart bombs. We know where these guys are. We could be killing them right now, but we're not going to because of war weariness in the American populace, and Obama doesn't need more egg on his face. And there's one other small problem that's really big. You'll notice that Anbar borders Syria. Sunni terrorists, Al-Qaeda terrorists, are fighting with the Free Syrian Army in the north, killing Christians as they go to try and take Damascus. Well, now they hold a stronghold to the south of Syria, and they can begin to attack from the north and the south to try and bring down the Shiite Ba'ath government of Syria. And guess what? Iran is not simply going to sit back and let that happen. They need that puppet regime in Syria. They need the Shiite stronghold, the base of terrorist operations that is functioning in Syria. So what will Iran do? I don't know. But now we've got a real mess on our hands because Iran is getting closer and closer to being armed with a nuclear weapon. Al-Qaeda has a base just a very close distance to Baghdad and bordering Syria. And we have lost 1,500 men fighting for Fallujah, which those lives are now perhaps lost in vain. This story won't go away. We'll cover it as we come. But know this, whether it's Iraqi Sunni terrorists or Iraqi Shiite terrorists or any other strain of Islamic terrorists from the Middle East, they are bent on one thing: bringing the world under Sharia law and the rule of the dictates of Muhammad. And that means that infidels like you and me are either going to convert, be killed, or be enslaved. I'm not interested in any. I say we have our government go in there as soon as possible or help other people to kill these terrorists.